Before 2014, most black people outside the black community had probably never heard the phrase stay woke. But within black communities, however, the term had been around for decades. Originally, stay woke meant staying alert to danger, especially racial injustice and deception. It wasn't just a slang, it was a call to remain aware of how racism appears in daily life, particularly in the form of police brutality. In 2014, after Michael Brown, an unarmed black teenager, was unalived by police in Ferguson, Missouri, BLM protesters revived Stay Woke as a rallying cry. It was a reminder to remain vigilant against the violence and injustice black people face from law enforcement. The roots of the word woke stretch far back, long before the civil rights movement. In the 1930s, blues musician Lead Belly used Stay Woke in a song about 9 black teenagers falsely accused of a serious crime, warning listeners to remain cautious.
The trouble about it, then they went out and made some loud cry about the boys being there with the women, you see. That is all it was to it. They just saw the women, they didn't see nothing else wrong. But anyhow, they put the boys in jail, and in that 6 long years, well, the state, all the whole United States got together, and they got out 4 of them, and they come to New York. And the lawyer what got him out, I know him pretty good, I've met him. And he showed me the Scottsboro boys, and I shake hands with him, so I made this little song about down there. So I advise everybody to be a little careful when they go along through that, but stay woke, keep their eyes open.
In 1962, writer William Melvin Kelly used woke in a New York Times article discussing how white Americans often borrowed and misused black slang. From the start, woke carried a deeper meaning, being aware of systemic risks and injustices faced by black Americans. It represented both cultural pride and protective awareness. Fast forward to 2008, when singer Erykah Badu released Master Teacher, repeating the phrase I stay woke. The song addressed poverty, dishonesty, and survival, reintroducing the idea of alertness to injustice in everyday life.
If there was no niggas, only master teachers, I stay woke. What if there was no niggas, only master teachers, I stay woke.
After this, black social media users began using Stay Woke more often when discussing politics, racism, or breaking news events. Then later in 2014, Ferguson protest pushed woke into wider public awareness. Over the next few years, it transformed into a shorthand for progressive politics, especially surrounding social justice, race, gender, and identity. By 2020, the meaning had split. For the political left, being woke meant socially conscious, progressive, and actively fighting injustice. For the political right, it became a sarcastic insult, mocking people as quote-unquote too political correct. This shift led to confusion. Many use the word without knowing its origins or without acknowledging its black roots. So what went wrong? As woke spread through politics, social media, and pop culture, it lost much of its original meaning. Instead of focusing on racial justice, it became a political identity for progressives, a punchline or insult for conservatives, a marketing tool for corporations, celebrities, and media, often in superficial ways. In some circles, it became a purity test, with people criticized for not being woke enough. The term was now being used by individuals who weren't actively fighting for justice, turning it into the opposite of its original intent. Then came the pandemic era, where the aftermath amplified cultural debates. Social media became a constant stream of hot takes and ideological clashes. This inevitably seeped into entertainment, where woke became a catch-all for gender politics, identity debates, and progressive messaging. At its core, it refers to a conscious effort by storytellers to address social and political issues. On paper, this can be powerful. Representation matters. Seeing someone who likes you or shares your experiences on screen can be validating. Diverse storytelling helps audiences understand different perspectives, develop empathy, and spark meaningful conversations. However, in recent years, Critics argue that representation has often been overshadowed by heavy-handed messaging. For many viewers, the joy of escapism is being replaced by constant reminders of political agendas. And a media conglomerate that examples this perfectly is Disney. Disney has become the poster child for the woke debate. Supporters see its inclusive approach as long overdue representation. Critics believe it alienates audiences by putting messaging before storytelling. Two examples that perfectly embodies this is one being the Lightyear movie, which was released in 2022. This movie included a same-gender kiss between a female space ranger and a wife. While some viewed it as a heartwarming detail, others saw it as unnecessary political messaging, leading to bans in countries like the UAE and Malaysia. Another one is the Acolyte series, which was released in 2024, which is a Star Wars series featuring a racially diverse cast. While it explored themes like power, corruption, critics, and one of the biggest critics of them all being the critical drinker, claimed the progressive messaging outweighed solid storytelling. With the few examples that we've given, you can see that people are not effing with this whole messaging and whatnot. People just want to watch movies, right? So this made me wonder, is wokeness really dying? And my answer is subjective, because art is always polarizing. Every object will have fans and haters, and that is true. The issue isn't necessarily the presence of social themes, but how they are delivered. Audiences generally accept stories that address hard topics if they're woven naturally into entertaining narratives. But constant overt messaging can feel like propaganda rather than storytelling. Pre-pandemic films often tackle taboo topics subtly while keeping entertainment front and center. Today, many feel that children's media in particular has shifted from pure escapism to political framing, raising concerns about development appropriateness. And in my observation, I see that there's a shift. This year has seen examples of media blending representation with strong storytelling. The Sandman, a Netflix series, being one of them. It is dark, thematically rich, with subtle progressive elements. When done right, representation can make audiences laugh, think critically, and see the world from new perspectives without feeling lectured. At the end of the day, we people want to escape reality when watching a film or show, and that is a fact. Give we the people great characters, great stories, and thoughtful themes, and maybe some people may embrace the message naturally. And with that said, I thank you guys for watching. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, was I right, was I wrong? And I'm very open-minded, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.